All our lives, we've been told to go to school, get good grades, get a good job, and you'll be set. How's that working out for you? I'm TaVona Denise, physical therapist turned life and business coach, and I'm on a mission to help you create a life you love and a business on your terms. If you want more time, more freedom, more flexibility, I can help you create it. Welcome to Breaking Protocol, the show for women in healthcare who want more. I have been having a lot of conversations with my clients this week about their offers and making money in their business. So I figured I better talk to you about it also, because I know you want to have more time and financial freedom. And in order to do that, you have to have paying clients and you need to be able to cover your bills, especially if you want to go full time in your business. So let's talk about some of the pricing mistakes I see people making in their business and what to do about it. So the first mistake I see when it comes to pricing is charging your hourly rate. So it's one thing to go to an employer and ask what the salary is, and it's another to charge a rate. So when I was doing contract work, and this, now that I think about it, probably wasn't the best way to go about doing it, but I kind of just asked them, like, what rate do you charge your contractors? Because I had no clue. Like, I didn't know what else was out there. So I just asked them, and I was so excited about the number that I was like, oh, okay, that's what I charge, right? But the thing that I think we forget in that kind of situation, right? When I'm a contractor, I still am only one piece of the puzzle. I go in, I do my work, I leave. You have very little overhead as an independent contractor. That is very, very different when you're running a whole business, right? So if you only charge your hourly rate, let's say it's $50, let's say it's $100, or maybe even $150, you have costs that an overhead that you often are not baking into the price that you will miss. So I'll give you an example. I remember when I was working in an outpatient clinic years ago, the amount might have changed, but I remember I used to know every single CPT code and how much would be reimbursed based on the insurance company. And so mentally, but with integrity, in my mind, I was calculating, okay, how much is this going to be worth? Right? Because at the end of the day, we were expected to have brought in $1,000 a day. So if it was a 22-day month, I was expected to have brought in $22,000. Now, this was back in 2005. So I don't know what the numbers are now, but I know for a fact that I did not bring home $22,000 into my account because we had front desk staff. There were at least two ladies, like the office manager and the front desk lady. We had a marketing person. We had a tech, right? None of those people were producing billable units. I was the only one, me, the other PT and the PTA, we were the only ones producing billable units. So you have to think about that when you're saying, I'm just charging my hourly rate as a coach. You're forgetting the overhead, you're forgetting the marketing, you're forgetting all of the other things that come into having a full entire business, right? So if you just charge what you are currently making in your business, like I've had clients that say, oh, my hourly rate as a PT is 50, and I've had physicians that say my hourly rate is 150. You are still forgetting that when you think about charging based on your hourly rate, that's only one piece of the entire puzzle. So that's mistake number one, because it's going to, when you charge your hourly rate, you are often not going to be able to make enough money to also pay yourself. And then you wonder, okay, well, why am I not getting ahead? Okay. So mistake number two is, okay, I had a client say, well, so they did both number one and number two. So I just charged them whatever the amount was times 8, because it's going to be 8-hour-long sessions. And I mean, I guess you would be correct in the initial assumption that if you charge based on how much time, I actually had two people, we had to talk about that this week, say, okay, well, my program is 8 weeks long, so that's 8 hours, or my program is 6 weeks long, so that's 6 hours. And it sounds good. But if we think about this for a second, and you take the hours that you're actually in session with your client, the problem is she found out the hard way that there are things that she needed to do to prepare for the client, right? She had to set up all of the back end stuff, and whatever platform that she chose to use to demonstrate the exercises in the app and keep up with the clients, it didn't have a lot of the exercises that she actually wanted to share. And if it did, there was a bunch of dudes, and she works with women. So she was like, I think I want to recreate the exercises myself. So now she has this custom program designed within the app for her clients. So even though she is in session with the client for that 1 hour, how many hours did it take to recreate these exercises, right? And you can say, okay, well, once you do it once, they're in there and it'll be done. But I would question that, because I would say the same thing about a book. Like, you write it and the price doesn't go down because they finish writing the book. The price is the price, and it's based on a number of factors. So if you're just looking at the number of hours or the amount of time that it takes you to do it, you're also missing some things, because what is the setup like? What are you thinking about? Because I know for me, and maybe it's different for you, but I spend a lot of time thinking about my clients, even when we're not in session. So if you come to me and you're a client and you have a struggle or something going on, as I'm out in the world moving and I'm reading articles and watching videos and listening to podcasts and things like that, if I see something that I think is going to help you beyond what we were doing in session, I'm going to send it to you. So that's time outside of that hour that we spent together that I'm actually investing in you, in your success. And she didn't even think about that, right? So what time do you spend thinking about working on things? Sometimes I develop additional resources for my clients because I hear the question enough. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I need to develop this for the client to make things easier. So how often are you planning on doing that for your clients? So then that automatically takes you out of the time to do it pricing mistake. If your program is 8 sessions long, 1 hour each, it's not just 8 hours, it's way more than that. And then the final mistake, the third of the most common mistakes that I see with pricing, comes down to comparison pricing. And so I've heard a number of people say to me when they think about going into coaching, they're like, well, the going rate in my town is XYZ. And I also look at this as a huge mistake for a couple of reasons. One, if we're doing business online, then automatically what you charge in town doesn't matter. The second reason why this is something to consider in terms of a mistake is that when you look and compare yourself to other people, you, one, are inviting competition and a race to the bottom. And I don't know if you've ever heard that quote, that comparison is the thief of joy. And I 100% want to apply it here too. Because one of the things that people often ask me is like, well, how do I stand out, right? But if you're comparing yourself to other coaches, to other practitioners, and you're doing it with your pricing, you are asking to not stand out, right? So I think about Toyota and Tesla, right? Two very, very different, like Tesla's not even in a class with Toyota. There is no competition. But if you look at Toyota, maybe I can compare to Nissan, maybe I can compare to Honda, Mazda, all of these things. So if you're going to be a life coach or a health or wellness coach or a mom coach like everybody else, then for sure people are going to compare you. But if you're a Tesla And that's really, now that I think about it, it's like, oh, that's pretty cool. I help my clients become the Teslas of the coaching industry, right? What is there to compare to? So that's one of the things that I teach my clients, how to package and present your expertise in a way that you're in a class of your own. There's no sea of other coaches. It's just like, I need you to work with me because you're the only one that insert your thing. And that's what you want to do. There is no need to compare prices. Like, people are not going to Elon Musk and the Tesla dealership, now that there are dealerships, and saying, well, can you knock 1,000 off of this because they're doing a sale over at the Toyota dealership? Like, they're just not doing that, right? Because they know that this one is best and only in class, and they can't get anything else like it. So how do you package and present your expertise to where there is no comparison pricing, there is no comparison shopping, you are the only one? And that's one of the things that I teach my clients to do. So the reason we have a lot of problems with our pricing of our services is that we just don't know how to value them, right? And that's fair. Like, when I was an employee, I was just one cog in the big wheel of the healthcare system. So I saw other clinicians, and I knew that we worked in an interdisciplinary effort, and there were a lot of people touching that chart and a lot of things, but I never really thought about all of the things that made the hospital go and why it needed to generate the amount of money, even though one of the main hospitals that I worked at was a nonprofit, right? It still needs to generate money to be able to serve the patients, right? So we don't take the time to think about what really goes into pricing our services, and we take that employee mentality with us. And what we really want to do is make sure that our business is healthy and that we don't run ourselves down in the process. Because the last thing that I would want you to do is leave your job because you're burned out and then get burned out in your business for something as simple as pricing. Now, it's a total other thing if we're talking about you don't have support, you don't have systems in your business, and you're just working too hard. Yes, but at least let's make sure that you understand the value so that you can price accordingly. So what do you do about it, right? If those are the mistakes, one of the things you can do is to write down all of the things you're actually going to do with or for the client in addition to the sessions, right? So if we go back to the example of the client that had 8 sessions, yes, you're going to get the 8 sessions, but what else? I know you're not just going to talk to them and then peace out. That's not the only thing that you're going to do. So what else will you be doing with them or be doing for them in addition to the sessions? This will allow you to, and I want you to actually write this down now so you can see it, because this is going to allow you to see how much time you're actually spending with your clients, and it'll also help you see what they're actually getting in terms of value. So this is a great first step in helping you really start to see the value of what you're doing with your clients and why you just might want to consider upping your prices, and how it becomes easier to charge premium prices with confidence because you know the value of what they're getting beyond the time that you spend with them, and regardless of what the person down the street is charging. So I'm excited to continue this conversation about pricing and values and your offers and all of it. And so I'm hosting a Patience to Clients Challenge next week, where we're going to dive deeper into the topic of pricing. And now that you know what your services are worth, how do you find people who are able and willing to pay that? So the registration is open for the Patience to Clients Challenge. It's actually a 5-day mini training series for healthcare professionals who want to successfully transition from patient care into a thriving coaching business online. So this is perfect for you if you want to do something more than one-on-one patient care and you've been thinking about taking your business online. During this training series, I'm going to share the secret to transition from patient care to a thriving coaching business in as little as 1.5 hours a day. I'm going to share with you my step-by-step process for replacing your income with confidence. And no, you do not have to resign from your job unless you want to. We're going to talk about how to become the go-to person for your favorite clients, those who are ready, able, and willing to pay you without haggling and asking you to discount your prices. A simple way to consistently attract clients who are ready to work with you without Facebook ads. How to charge a premium for your packages and feel confident about it. So we start next week, so make sure you register today. Just go to TaVonaDenise.com/challenge. That's TaVonaDenise.com/challenge. Until next time, friends.